Represent UCLA.
This is my
What's
children
up?
home.
Hi,
Hello,
Rebecca.
hello.
Hi, Tima. Okay, so hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this special Wise I Should Talk episode. Today, I'm very excited to be doing this panel discussion with these amazing people who have, volunteered their insightful thoughts, their amazing minds, their voices, to come and talk about something that's very important today. Because I think all of us on this planet have experienced this in some kind of capacity. And this kind of relationship is very special and unique. And it's called friendships. What are friendships? How do we define them? What are the different things that come about? And also, how does culture, race, finances, how do all of these things impact the way we relate to others, especially when we're talking about within a friendship relationship? Let's go into the next question because we got some things. Okay, so we live in a predominantly Christian society in the United States of America. But some of us are actually representing Africa right now. Shout out to the Congo, DRC. Shout out to Senegal, Nangadef. What's up? We got Africans all over here. They actually back home on the continent. But currently, the majority of us are in the United States or have experienced previously living here. And so, in terms of like religious, spiritual, or moral beliefs, how do these impact your experiences while navigating social settings such as school, various events like parties, or kickbacks with your friends? Do you ever feel like discomfort or reluctant to express your faith within these social settings when it comes to your friends? Does anyone have anything they would like to say about this or any experiences?
I can start.
I have a lot.
Oh shit. Okay, so
Ladies first.
Me too.
okay, ladies first. Okay, look, Maggie and then Tima.
For me, well, I'm a proud Christian, and I think one of the main requirements with my friends is that I have to be comfortable with being who I am around them. So if already I sense that my faith or even expressing it could be an issue, these are not the people I want as friends. My friend, one of my closest friends is Orthodox. A lot of you guys are Muslim. And for me, because I have, a very religiously diverse group of friends, I try to not only be respectful of that, but also celebrate it. Like when you guys have the end of Ramadan and we have the big feast, I want to be there. Like I want to eat with you guys. Like we come from different places, but I want to respect it. Like when my Orthodox friends have their Christmas in January, I want to be there. Like I want to have, and I think that's a huge part of friendship. Like you guys also have proposed to like celebrate Christmas with me. I think that's also part of friendship. Like we come from like these different cultures and religions and places, but still being able to like respect it and even go as far as celebrate it. I think that's a huge part of my type of friendship. So yes, I do feel comfortable expressing what I am, expressing my faith around my friends, and I hope they feel the same. That should be what friendship is also.
Oh, it looks like Tima disappeared. Tima was supposed to go next. Okay, why don't we go to Maget and then we'll come back around to Tima.
Well. We live in an era when religion is not like the mainstream. It's not a cool thing anymore. When you say you're religious, whether it's Christian or Muslim, Catholic, or Protestant, whatever it is, there's always that kind of like, okay, next, or like, okay, we get it, you all about this, whatever. But then there's another layer to it where it goes on to affect people much more than just like surface level. Because some people automatically attach a vision they have of whatever the religion is to you. Like something happened in a country I don't know nobody about. I don't know anybody in that country. I don't have nothing to do with that country. But because somebody in that country happened to be a Muslim, oh, automatically this guy is a Muslim. Oh, that creates some sort of definition to a person which they shouldn't really create, and then automatically you happen to be the person to defend the actions of people you have nothing to do with in the first place. And I think that it happens a lot, but people start being conscious of them being judgmental. So some people are working on that, but in a lot of places, sometimes I find myself trying to advocate for like half the world, whereas I'm my own person. I don't know those people. I'm just practicing what I do. And sometimes I just don't feel comfortable about revealing my religion. I just don't, because I feel like people can use that as a reason to not even give me the chance to prove them who I am, and automatically disqualify me for being a friend or being a person that could benefit to a coalition or anything. So most of the time I present myself as a blank, person, and I let them meet me first and eventually be like, oh, you discover later on, this guy is Muslim. Oh, this guy is cool. Like, this guy is really down to earth. But then it's like I shouldn't have to do that. I should be more comfortable being myself. But I get it. Society isn't fair, so sometimes some people gotta take more heat than others.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tima, what did you want to say? So you can go ahead and share whatever it is that you wanted to, because you said you have a lot to share.
Well, it's not a lot. I'm not gonna say everything because I'm the type of person where the more I say stuff, the more stuff come out. But I do think if I feel like I cannot express my faith, if I feel like I have to conceal my faith around a friend, then they're not my friends, because that is an important part of me. It's a part of my moral compass, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I also feel like religion is such a sensitive topic. I feel like you have to set boundaries in a sense. So I don't drink, right? So I'm gonna tell my friend, oh, I don't drink, so can you not say like one of my friends is making something and it involves alcohol, then I'll be like, can you not do that because I don't drink because of my faith? So I don't think that's meant to be disrespectful, but I feel like if you're my friend, then you should understand that because of my faith, I cannot do certain things. And I also think it's important to have friends from all walks of life, from all faiths, because they help you reflect on your own personal beliefs. Like if you have a friend with a different religion, then you kind of look at that and it kind of helps you grow as a person, because it helps solidify your faith. Or it can help break it too. It can help, kind of transfer you to the other side. Either way, I feel like it's always a win-win situation. Because it's either you become stronger in your faith, or you realize, oh, I don't necessarily agree with this because this person helped show me this. So then I'm going to change. So.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to add anything about this particular question? Because I feel like it's navigating our world, especially a world that has kind of like what Maguette was talking about, that kind of moving away from religion and it's more like people are using spirituality and different types of terms. So you kind of like, you don't want to like keep certain things. You don't want to exclude people. You want to be inclusive, but at the same time, you want to stay true to who you are and how you were brought up to be. So I'm just wondering if anyone had any experiences feeling maybe discomfort expressing their religious beliefs with people, or like fear of like how people would perceive you.
Well, I want to say that, people have to understand, and it's very important for all of us, me being the first, to know that our religions, the goal of them is to bring us closer to perfection. So the religion, you can say, is perfect, but the human beings are not. And that's very important to understand. It's not because someone subscribes to a specific or certain religion that they actually represent what that religion is, because at the end of the day, they're just a human and they are imperfect. So their goal throughout that journey is to strive and aim for perfection and to be better every single day. So putting people into boxes based on that is not really the good thing to do. Also, a lot of things come into play. There might be discomfort, maybe even fear for some people, or judgment and things like that. Just a small thing is, we used to say inshallah when we say, oh bro, I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. So when I first moved to the States, oh, is it fine still? Or?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, yes, all right. So yeah, when I first moved to the States, when you have an American friend or someone who's not who doesn't have the same religion as you, some people don't even believe, for you to be like, oh, I'll catch you tomorrow, inshallah, and things like that, you kind of start holding back to say those things, and it feels kind of weird. It's not that you are afraid or something like that. It's just that, oh, I don't know, it's this person is on the same wavelength as me, based on this. So maybe sometimes I think people, we like to say modify the way we act to be on the same playing field, just to make things go like smooth,
Yeah.
There's that too. But the most important thing I wanted to say is, and I think it has been said already, is that, we base our way of lives on our religions. We base the way we do things on our religions. So it's central to our journeys in this world. Now, it's very important to hold on to that constantly, and to know that if the people around you are not willing to accept that, then there's a problem with them. And I think it's simple as that. As long as you're doing what you believe to be right, you're not harming anybody else. They have to respect you. You respect them.
Yeah.
So yeah, in Islam it says, "Lakum dinukum waliya din," to you your religion, and to me my religion. So
Oh, I'm in a class right now. Oh, I'm in a class right now.
I think no, I think what you're saying is definitely true. It's definitely like there's a negotiation of almost of being, especially when you're in America, if you're Muslim, you got to negotiate your spaces, right? Because there's a lot of Islamophobia. Right. Politically speaking, Islam and Muslims have been public enemy number one, especially after 9/11. But then, especially, but also it's like not even Islam, but quote unquote Muslim people. So that doesn't even mean most of us, because actually for the majority of Americans, they think Muslims are like Arab looking. They don't think they look like us. They don't look like they don't think black people are Muslims. So I've heard a lot of people say like things about Muslim people or Islamophobic slurs. And then I'm like, I'm Muslim. They're like, oh, snap. I was like, sis, you didn't know? My name says it all. Like, and it's so interesting how, you have to navigate spaces. And what Iba is talking about, I think he could probably relate to it more because, Iba spent most of his time in Senegal. Then he came to the US. So a lot of the sayings that people say, like, inshallah, God willing, basically, or to, little sayings that people will say, it's like, if you say that here, people will take it as like, oh, that's what we saw in the news when the guy decided to bomb this place. That's what we saw. So it's kind of like there's all this coding that we see in the media about, how people view people who are religious in a negative light. Whereas there's a spectrum, just like we talked about in Friends. But if you're friends with people, they should definitely respect your faith. That's what I definitely agree with what everyone has said. They should respect your faith and not look at you like you're crazy. Because I've had some people say to me like, "Are you okay?" Because I don't drink or smoke. So every time I'm at parties, I have friends who are like, "Oh, Aisha, are you sure you're good?" And I'm like, I'm really good. Like, I know how to turn up I don't need nothing to turn up. I could turn up. But it's just interesting. I think you really have to negotiate your spaces with your friends when it comes to your beliefs. Because some people are not religious, but they also still have like moral codes that they go by. Some people don't ascribe to certain religions, but they still have like a specific set of rules they still go by. So that's what I think we can say about that. Does anybody want to add anything before we move on?
Yes.
Go ahead, Tima.
To me, even though, to me, religion is not that important when it comes to my friends. Because I do have friends who are not the same faith as me, and I still hold them dear to my heart. But I do think, especially when you're younger, it is an issue like with with the older generation, like your parents, because they might want you to hang around people within your own culture and your own beliefs.
Yeah.
I think that's where religion becomes an issue. It is when you're younger, because when you're younger, most people do not make their own decisions. So they just listen to whatever their elders say.
Yeah, but I think what you're talking about is also like the fear that a lot of our parents have, or the old people around us. They're scared that when we are exposed to different people who have different sets of belief, that it could it could be a threat to what our beliefs are at home. So I think when kids are younger, I see how parents are like, no, are you sure you want to hang out with them? Maybe you should hang out with these people, and with that, when you do that, there's a price, because, sure, you might want to keep your child like sheltered, but then when they go out into the world and the world doesn't actually reflect how things are at home or how things are with the family, it makes it harder for them to integrate when they go out into the world. So for a lot of people, I don't know if I'm advocating for integration or for exclusion. I'm really not sure. But I do think that even though I do think religion is important but I do think underneath of that is moral identities and moral beliefs. Like, somebody doesn't have to be Muslim to be my friend, but we still have to generally say, we respect human beings, We don't disrespect or degrade human beings. We don't think we're better than others. You don't treat people like crap. Like, I don't want to be friends with anybody who's spewing out negativity towards people. So I think, like, when it comes to religion, I'll give that to my family. And, maybe when I'm seeking a partner to marry, maybe I'll consider that as a criteria. But for friends, I just need you to have a moral code that kind of matches with mine. Because I can't be rolling out with you and you over here doing all sorts of cuckoo stuff, I cannot. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Taking into context everything that has been and is currently happening to Black people all over the world, but especially within the United States of America, would you say that it is possible for different races to maintain sustainable friendships? And a follow-up to that is, should we expect our non-Black friends to be pro-Black? Yes. Who would like to start? Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this latest episode of WiseAïchaTalks Friendship Panel Series. I really appreciate all of the support. Again, a reminder, make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you go comment and like and share my content. This is the way that it's going to keep growing. I'm seeing all the love and support, and I really appreciate it. And I hope that I'm serving you all in the best way that I can. So for next time around, we're going to have a really interesting conversation about having friends that are non-Black and really addressing the topic of whether or not we expect them to be pro-Black or to speak up for Black lives. So I hope that you guys can be tuned in for that episode. It's going to drop next week, so just stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm out. Bye.